Well, welcome everyone. I hope you enjoyed that little introduction. Today I wanted to talk about some amazing iPhone accessories that were just sent to me from SmallRig. They're really amazing little devices. Now, the people that follow me would know that I use the iPhone all the time. I'm using it for shooting videos, taking stills, long exposure, everything else. So having some of these devices I'm going to show you is really helpful. And in fact, it's going to change the way that I shoot. The first little device that I'm going to show you is this little device. Now, it's called the SmallRig Universal Smartphone Holder, and let me just show you what it is. This is the unit here. It's solid metal, so it's really very well constructed, and it's got these little fold-out legs, which I'll show you down here, that you can stand your iPhone in it, as you can sort of see through here, in landscape and portrait. It will take up to a 90mm phone in the width, and if you keep it closed, it's 60mm, and it swivels as well. And like I said, I'll show you this working in a second, and it's great for adding some of the attachments as well. And that's one of the beauties of this. You could put a light, you could put a microphone, you could put anything else on there that you wanted to do. It is Arca Swiss, so you can see it's attached to this tripod that I'll also show you shortly, and it really is a fantastic setup, and I love it. This is something I'm going to keep in my bag and take with me all the time. So let me show you how this works. So this is the little device here. You can see that it just twists like that. That's how you can do landscape or portrait. And there's some little legs underneath. Now, it's got these little bits out the side here to give it the Arca Swiss size for when you're putting this into tripods. But simply how this works is the legs just open up and then you lift it up, and then it will sit on your desk like that. Now, all it does then is you grab your phone. Now, this is the iPhone 11 Pro, so this is their largest one, and it fits it quite well. Well, it fits it very well. If I put it in, you can see now that it sits very, very comfortably inside that. The beauty is too now that I can, you know, you can push that down if you want to go down, like if you wanted to look at a movie or something like that. You can bring it right up again and stuff like that. Now, if you wanted to, then you could put things like microphones and stuff like that in the attachment at the top, or lights. If you were doing, say, a selfie like a vlogging, you could stick the light into this, and then you could turn that on, and then you could light yourself up and get correct exposure, and then you could vlog in the late evening or late afternoon if you wanted to do that way. So that's really good. I mean, you can also put things like microphones. If you have the correct attachment, the correct lead that will go into your phone, you could stick things like the microphones in. If I bring that down, and again, then you could be doing your vlogging and stuff like that and have much better audio coming into your phone as well. So it's really, really handy. It's really fantastic. And like I said, it will go into the tripod, and I'll discuss this shortly. But if you have this little tripod here, and I'll put this down, you could then put it in, and it's an Arca Swiss. So you could have it like that, attach it that way, and then you could be doing vlogging like that, so you can get it off the table or whatever you wanted to work with it. So it's a fantastic little device. I mean, like I said, I think I'm probably going to be taking this now wherever I go, and it certainly is good if I'm doing vlogging, which I can be doing at any time. It takes no room up, but it's beautifully made, and it will hold a really large phone. So that's the first thing that I wanted to show you. It's just brilliant. And I'll put all the links for these down below so you can see these. You can see too that it's got a soft rubber pad here so that it won't scratch your phone. It's even got the rubber underneath there so that it won't scratch your phone. It's got the little pads on the bottom so it won't slip. It sticks, which is really great. And then, like I said, you've got the attachment up the top that you can put things like microphones and lights, and there's even a screw in the bottom if you wanted to screw this into a light stand or anything else. So that's the first product. So the next thing I want to show you is the tripod. This is a amazing little tripod. It's all steel, so incredibly well made, like everything else that SmallRig make. And what I love about this is it can go down very, very small. Like if I bring this down to the lowest point, you can see how small that actually is sitting there. It goes really down low. So if you wanted to shoot something very, very low, it's terrific for that. You can also, like I said, if you wanted to have it up so it's a little bit higher like that, and you've just got your controls, which means you can move it around portrait, landscape, if you wanted to go down that way. And you can even sort of do panoramics by using that as well, which is fantastic. It's great. I mean, it's really solid, rock solid, in fact, and it works with, like I said, these other devices like that phone holder that I showed you before. You can even use a mirrorless in this as well. So if I put the camera in, tighten it up. Now, like I said, it's an Arca Swiss, and I use everything Arca Swiss, so that's fantastic. And again, if you wanted to do some panos or something like that, you could use that. And if you want to bring the camera, move it around, get it level, you've also got that as well. You have got a level on the handle here, but I just wish there was a handle up, say one up the top up there, but apart from that, it's really fantastic. I mean, I love it. The build quality is just exceptional. Just to show you that one, so let me switch over and I'll show you what this is. It's called the SmallRig Tabletop Mini Tripod with Panoramic Ball Head, and you can see if you look through that it has multiple uses. If you're looking through here, you can see that you can hold your mobile phone as well, so it's got the phone holder that you can attach that I just showed you before. It's terrific. You can even add digital SLRs and things like that onto it as well. It's very, very versatile. Like you can use your action cameras on it, you can use your mobile phone like you say there, and you digital SLRs or mirrorless cameras as well. So that's the next device that I wanted to show you. So the third thing here is a phone holder. This is amazing, probably aluminium, great build quality. I have stuck something extra on the top that I'll discuss in a minute, but it's great. It's got the rubber inside it so the phone won't scratch. Now, how you attach this is it has an arm that's here. You just open that up, then your phone just slides in. You feel it sort of nicely fit in. It's nice and snug. The rubber sort of holds it fairly tight there, and then you can clamp it down. The beauty now is that you have things that you can hold onto this to put things like lights and other things onto this. But I asked for another part to be sent to me as well, because sometimes if you're holding things, the iPhone does work very, very well if you're trying to film on its own. The stabilization is very good, actually, particularly with the wider lens. And I'll show you some, you saw some footage of that at the beginning. And also, you know, I'll show you some sort of as we're just talking now. But the footage is really, really good. But I wanted to hold a way of holding this a little bit more stable. So what I asked for is if they could bring me this little handle. Now, I'll show you what these are in a second. And basically, this just screws in to this section here. And then you can see that I've got a handle now that can be held. Now, it's much easier to hold this as it is here than trying to hold the camera. Remember, it's now sort of much more secure because I can use my shoulder, my elbows sort of into my body when I'm walking and things like that, and I can get some great results. Also, like occasionally you can be out of balance and I could hold it with one hand if I had to, and things like that. But if you sit it down now too, it will sit down on its own, which is great. So that's fantastic. So this has multiple things that I can put on it. So let me just show you, before I show you what I can stick on it, I'll show you what I've actually got here. So the first thing is this little rail that I've got up the top, called the SmallRig safety rail. Now, it's this little rail that sits on the top up here that you can see right there. And that enables you to attach things to the top of this cage. For instance, if you look here, you can see that you can add handles and things like that on this safety rail. So it's really useful to have, and I'll show you that in a minute. So that's the first thing that I've put on there. So the next thing that I'm looking at here is this SmallRig aluminium side handle for the smartphone cage. And like I said, at the top, you've got a great little adapter that you can put things into that if you wanted to. You can see it's sort of attached to the cage here. It does have the ability to stick things like lights on there. And there's also inside it a little Allen key that you can see here. So you can tighten that up as well, which is great. So let me show you how this all works and how you can sort of set this up. So for instance, if I was vlogging or putting something like an action camera on this, because this now has the rail that goes on there, I can then slide that in and then attach that so that it's connected to the camera. So I could be using the iPhone and also, say, something like an Osmo Action or something all at the same time. And you could put anything on there, so it wouldn't matter. And the beauty is now that you have the ability to be able to move this to any position. It can switch around, you know, and you can have a lot of fun with this. So that's the first thing that I'll show you. So let me take that off. Like I said, it's endless the possibilities that you could put on this. If you wanted to, you could say, for instance, put a light in the top and have that in there. I could then stick a microphone, for instance, if I wanted to get better audio of myself. And then I could have a complete system, which could be the audio and then also your light at the top. You know, so it's fantastic. Like I said, it's endless, really, what you could do with this type of setup. And it really does help if you're making footage, just for the fact that you can hold it with both hands and get a nice steady shot and add all of these attachments onto it. And it feels, you know, it just feels rock solid. I just haven't done that up tight enough. It just feels rock solid when you go about this. Really, really wonderful device. And, you know, I'd love to thank SmallRig for sending me these. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I will leave the links for these as well underneath. It'll be my affiliate link going into SmallRig. And then you just have to search for the individual codes, which I'll put into the dialog box down below. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.